So far we have discussed about different types of capacitors and relevant formulae for the capacity. As we have already discussed the parallel plate capacitor, and the formula for capacity of parallel plate capacitor is given by A epsilon naught by D. See, the capacity of a capacitor purely depends on the dimensions, that means area of the plate and the separation between the plates as well as the medium between the plates. So for example, if the plates are like this, if one plate is area A1 and the other plate is area A2, which area you have to take in consideration? The common area which is belonging to both the capacitor plates becomes the effective area of this capacitor. Somebody may feel like that A1 plus A2 by it is not correct. The common area in A1 and A2 which is common to both, A2 is common. That's why here in this case you can go through C is equal to A epsilon naught, A2 epsilon naught by D in this aspect. If you increase the separation between the plates, the influence of earthed plate decreases. So the capacity, if you increase the distance, capacity decreases. So keeping the plate area as well as medium between the plates constant, the capacity of a parallel plate capacitor is inversely proportional to the separation between the plates. Therefore, C1 by C2 is equal to D2 by D1. And simultaneously, if you fill the entire gap between the plates with a dielectric medium of permittivity epsilon m, then what is the capacity? Then Cm is equal to A epsilon m by D. If no medium, then C naught will be equal to A epsilon naught by D, and I am here dividing dd, A cancel, epsilon m by epsilon naught, permittivity of the medium by permittivity of free space, and it is given by Cm is equal to, this relative permittivity is given by dielectric constant K. So Cm is equal to K times C naught. It is clear that if you keep any dielectric medium between the plates of the parallel plate capacitor, the capacity increases by K times. It is very important relation between capacity of a capacitor when there is no medium between the plates and there is some medium between the plates. So the K value of the medium between the plates can also be decided by the formula K is equal to Cm by C naught. The dielectric constant K is equal to Cm by C naught. Now, I am going to discuss about parallel combination and series combination of parallel plate capacitor. Parallel combination and series combination of parallel plate capacitor. See here, I am taking different capacitors of capacities C1, C2, C3 just like this, and they are connected end to end. This is, the system is connected to the cell. This end is positive and this end is negative. E is the EMF. So here in this circuit, this is positive terminal, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. This is very important. end-to-end combination. That is what we call it as series combination. If you connect these capacitors in series, the charge on every capacitor will be the same. Just like current in the resistors in series constant, here charge on each capacitor becomes constant in series. Therefore, I am treating this one as Q1 equal to Q2 equal to Q3 equal to Q. This Q is drawn from this cell. As you have already known that potential difference across the terminals of the first capacitor V1 is equal to Q, this is Q1, sorry, Q1 by C1, that is Q by C1. Similarly, V2, Q2 by C2 equal to Q by C2, and V3 is equal to Q3 by C3, that is equal to Q by C3. This EMF E is distributed on the capacitors, across the capacitors according to their capacity, so that the entire EMF supplied by the cell is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. The algebraic sum of EMFs and potential differences across the cells, otherwise across the capacitors, is 0. That means according to KVL you can know that delta E plus delta V is equal to 0. Therefore, E is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. What is E? It is delivering a charge Q, so that the effective capacity of the combination C effective can be given by QE, or here E is equal to Q by C effective. This I am substituting here. E by C effective is equal to E by C1 plus E by C2 plus E by C3 plus so on, if there are such combination or available. In all terms, this E is a constant feature, so that we can derive that 1 by C in series is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. In this, you have to, if you take only two capacitors, the effective capacity CS is equal to C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 in series combination. If you connect these capacitors in identical capacitors in series, then CS will be equal to C by N. From this equation, CS equal to C by N, it is clear that the capacity is decreased on increasing the series combination. So, in order to minimize the capacity, you must and should use that capacitors in series. Now, if you want to find the individual voltages across the capacitors, if E is the effective voltage, as you have already known that V is equal to Q by C, general formula for potential of any capacitor. In parallel, in series combination, Q is a constant feature, so that you can take V1 is to V2 is to V3 is equal to 1 by C1 is to 1 by C2 is to 1 by C3 and so on. Otherwise, you can take V1 is to V2 is to V3 is equal to C2 C3 is to C1 C3 is to C1 C2. If you want V1 out of this effective E into C2 C3 by C1 C2 plus C2 C3 plus C1 C3 will be the effective potential difference across the first capacitor. If you want the voltage across the second capacitor, that will be equal to E into C1 C3 by same C1 C2 plus C2 C3 plus C1 C3. Similarly, V3 is equal to E into C1 C2 by C1 C2 plus C2 C3 plus C1 C3. In this way, we can determine the effective potential difference across the any capacitor in series combination. In series combination, the capacity of the overall capacitor decreases. In series combination, the capacitor with more charge than the effective charge of the entire combination will be ruptured. It is very careful while connecting capacitors in series. First of all, we have to mathematically estimate the effective capacity and individual capacity as well as individual charges that they can hold. And now, for example, in series combination, there are two cells, two capacitors connected in series. This is C1 and this is C2. Just like this. E is the EMF of this cell. Capacity of the first capacitor is C1 and that of second capacitor is C2. If you want voltage V1 and V2, V1 by V2 is equal to C2 by C1. Since in series combination V is V inversely proportional to C, so that V1 by V2 is equal to C2 by C1. What is the value of V1? V1 is equal to V effective E into C2 by C1 plus C2. If you want V2, V2 is equal to effective E into C1 by C1 plus C2. In that way, you can estimate the individual potential drops across the capacitors. In this situation, if you insert a dielectric medium of constant K between these two plates, then you can take C1 is equal to C1 only, but C2 now becoming K into C2. The capacity of capacitor increases by K times if there is a dielectric medium introduced between the plates. In such a situation, V1 by V2 is equal to KC2 by KC1. KC2 by C1. In this situation, what is the potential drop across the first capacitor? V1 is equal to this overall EMF E into KC2 by what is that? C1 plus KC2. If you want V2, E into C2 by C1 plus KC2. In this way, we can determine the individual potential drops across the capacitors if any medium is inserted between the plates. Now, I am going to explain you the parallel combination of these capacitors. parallel combination of these capacitors. See, I am taking the capacitance of capacities C1, C2, C3 like that. This is EMFE, C1, C2 and C3 are the capacities of different capacitors. In this situation, Q is the charge drawn from this cell and effective capacity of this combination is, say, C effective. So that C effective is equal to Q by E. Otherwise, Q is equal to E into C effective. In such a situation, if you observe carefully, you can apply here KCL. From KCL, the charge drawn from the cell is divided at this junction into three different parts, Q1, Q2, Q3. According to KCL, you can take that Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, and Q is here Q, as we have already known that E effective into E into C effective. But in parallel combination, the first cell terminals are connected between the ends of the battery. Second cell terminals are also connected to the terminals of this battery. And the third cell terminals also, third capacitor terminals also connected to the same terminals, between same terminals, and therefore here V1 is the potential drop equal to E. Here V2 is the potential drop equal to E, and here V3 is the potential drop across this capacitor. From this it is clear that in parallel combination the effective voltage will be the same for each and every capacitor. So that E effective, E into C effective is Q1 is equal to C1 V1. Q2 is equal to C2 V2 and Q3 is equal to C3 V3. So that C1 into E plus C2 into E plus C3 into E. Why? V1, V2 and V3 are all equal to E. That's why I am substituting instead of V1, V2 and V3 as E. From this you can cut off this E, a common feature. So the effective capacity of parallel combination is C equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So if n identical capacitors are connected in parallel, C plus C plus C plus C plus C, so on up to n. So the effective capacity becomes NC. It is clear that the capacity increases in parallel combination, whereas the capacity decreases in series combination. If you take only two capacitors in parallel, then Cp is equal to C1 plus C2. If you take those two capacitors in series, then C2 Cs equal to C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. As we have already known, this C1 plus C2 is Cp. Therefore, Cs equal to C1 C2 by Cp. Therefore, C1 C2 is equal to Cs into Cp. This is one of the most important formula which is used to be solve many problems in these different combinations of capacitors, either in series or in parallel. And now I am going to estimate the charge on each capacitor. See, in this situation, if Q is the effective charge drawn from this cell, what is the charge Q1, what is the charge Q2, what is the charge Q3? See, as you know that Q is equal to CV. Here in parallel combination, V is a constant feature. Then Q1 is to Q2 is to Q3 is equal to C1 is to C2 is to C3. So if you want Q1 is equal to the total charge Q into C1 by C1 plus C2 plus C3. Total charge Q2, which is the charge accumulated on the second capacitor, is Q into C2 by C1 plus C2 plus C3. And similarly, Q3 is equal to Q into C3 by C1 plus C2 plus C3. See, in this situation, the charge on each capacitor plate depends on the capacity of that particular capacitor. It is very important that charges are different on different plates of parallel combination, but it is same in series combination in each and every capacitor. Thank you. As we have already discussed in the previous section, if entire region between the capacitor plates is filled with a dielectric slab material, the capacity increases by K times. What happens if the partial space between the capacitor plates is filled with a dielectric medium? Just observe. See here, this is capacitor. Distance between the capacitor plates is D. Area of each plate is A. Now I have introduced a dielectric slab of thickness T. Between the plates of the capacitor. Dielectric slab. And the dielectric constant of this dielectric slab is K. And here it can be imagined to be two capacitors which are connected in series. One capacitor with a plate separation T and filled with dielectric medium K. So that capacitor, say this is C1, is equal to K A epsilon naught by T. The other is the remaining part between the plates is with the air. So that will act like air capacitor. That air capacitor C2 is equal to A epsilon naught by, this is overall separation between the plates. Out of this, T is to be neglected. D minus T is the effective distance between the air capacitor plates. See, these two capacitors are just connected like this. That means they will be in the same path. That means this combination is series combination. In such a series combination, that effective capacity C effective equal to C1 C2 by C1 plus C2, so that C effective is equal to C1 C2 means K A epsilon naught by T plus K A epsilon naught by D minus T by K A epsilon naught by T plus K A epsilon naught by D minus T. By simplifying, you can get the effective capacity of such a combination. C effective is equal to A epsilon naught by D minus T into 1 minus 1 by K. It is most important one. We have to use this as C effect. In this situation, what is happened to the distance between the plates? Distance between the plates D minus T into something. That distance is decreased. If distance is decreased, capacity of the capacitor increases. Capacity of the capacitor increases. In order to re-establish same capacity, what should you do? This is the distance decreased. As a result, capacity increase. In order to re-establish the same capacity, the distance that is to be readjusted between the capacitor plates is given by x is equal to T into 1 minus 1 by K. Thank you.